Hi, this is Mr. Wee, Principal of Lanier Middle School. On Friday, January 29th, the Shared Decision-Making Committee, of which I am a member, unanimously adopted a new late work proposal. The exciting thing for us, and I believe for all kids and parents, is that it provides a lot more flexibility and is a lot more forgiving for the students. And I believe that's the way we need to be in a time like this that we find ourselves, the worst pandemic probably of any of our lifetimes. So the purpose of the video is to take you through the new policy so that you will understand it completely, and also invite you to ask any questions if you have them at the end by emailing any one of our administrative team and our teachers as well. So let's go through it. I made this document, and I made it as a kind of a side-by-side document, old policy with the new policy, so that hopefully you can see how dramatically it changed, and it changed in favor of our students. The definition of late work remained the same. Late work is any assignment that is not completed by the time class starts on the due date. That's the old policy. And the new policy that was adopted by the SDMC on January 29th remains the same. Late work is any assignment that is not completed by the time class starts on the due date. There's an asterisk there, so let me take you down there right away and let you know what that asterisk indicates. That asterisk indicates that we do have some students who have 504 plans, and some have IEPs, individual education programs. And for those students, they may have different rules that apply based on their unique individual situations, and so they may not be subject to this policy the way it is written today. Okay, continuing. When a student turns in an assignment at the beginning of the first class meeting after it was assigned, it is considered on time. And in the example, using the old policy, the student received an assignment on Monday, February 1st, submits it at the beginning of class period on Wednesday, February 3rd. The student earned a raw score of 85. His actual grade under the old policy will be 85. Under the new policy, the student receives an assignment on Monday, February 1st, submits at the beginning of the class period on Wednesday, February 3rd, earns a raw score of 85, and his actual grade will be 85. So no difference there. Here's where it starts to get very different. This same student, that assignment in one class meeting after the due date. So in this case, the assignment was given on Monday, it was due Wednesday, and the student did not turn it in until Friday. That is one class meeting beyond the due date. Under the old policy, that student would receive a 20% deduction from whatever score he made. In this case, it would be a 68. The raw score, 20% of 85 is about 17. So 85 minus 17 yields that score of 68. Under the new policy, the highest score possible if you are late by one class period is 90. So as you can see, this student is advantaged by the new policy. Under the old policy, his grade would have been 68. Under the new policy, 95. Let's look at what happens if that assignment is turned in 2 class periods late. In other words, it was given on Monday, it was due on Wednesday. One class period late would have been Friday. The next time that class meets would be Tuesday of the following week. That is 2 class periods late. Under the old policy, that student would have received a 50% deduction, and 50% of 85 is about 43. So the student would have gotten a 43 on the assignment. Under the new policy, the highest score possible is an 80 on the second class period late. So the student, although he made an 85, would have earned an 80. So you can see here that this is advantaging the student at all levels. 1 period late from 68 to 85. 2 periods late from 43 to 80. This did not exist in the old policy, a third chance to turn it in. So the assignment was given Monday, was due Wednesday. Student did not turn it in Friday or Tuesday, instead turned it in 3 periods late on the following Thursday. Under the old policy, that would have been a 0. Under the new policy, the highest grade you can earn is 70 when you turn it in 3 class periods late. So the 85 became a 0 under the old policy, and the 85 became a 70 under the new policy. Here's another big difference. What happens after the student does not turn that assignment in, even after the 3rd class period? Well, in the old policy, it was a 0, and it would remain a 0 forever. There was no chance. Under the new policy, the student can turn in an assignment up until the very last day of the grading period. Okay, that is pretty generous. And that score can be a 50. So I can hear some people already thinking, wow, do I really want to do an assignment if all I can make is a 50? The answer is yes. Let me show you why. So once again, under the old policy, it would have been a 0, and the student turned in that assignment on the very last day of the grading period and earned a 50. And some of you are saying, why? What's the point? Let me show you the point. There are 2 points. Let's take the case of Miguel and Zoe. Zoe is a 6th grade student at Lanier. Miguel is an 8th grade student at Lanier. They are both fictional. They both had the same grade distribution. They both got 12 grades, which a lot of our students do get 12 grades because they get 2 grades per week times 6. They have the same 12 grades. The only difference is Miguel turned in 2 assignments that were zeros on the very last day of the grading period. He got a 50 here and a 50 here. Zoe, her grades remain 0 and 0. Well, let's see what happens. When you average all these grades together, Zoe gets to 68. That is below passing. Okay, but look what it did with Miguel. Miguel turned those assignments in on the last day, earned a 50, and look at this. Even a 50. That raised his average from 68 to 79 points just from earning 50s instead of a 0. He passed. So, getting 50 points is always better than getting 0 points. And this example illustrates that. So, I think the new policy is generous and flexible, and I think it definitely advantages students, and I think it also inspires them to keep learning instead of giving up because they have zeros. So thank you for listening to me, and thank you for your thoughtful feedback. We hope that the policy lowers people's anxiety and inspires them to learn. Have a great evening.